Hello folks, how you doing? I hope you're very well. So we're going to look at Reddit. This is from r/keto dupe. I didn't know about this. Someone left a comment and told me about this Reddit thread and this Reddit group, and I found this thread, and this guy sort of echoes some of the things that I've been talking about. The keto scam should have ended already. It should have ended 10 years ago. Let's have a look at this. So he's talking about the Kevin Hall, who was the lead researcher of the study that I'm talking about in 2015, where the higher insulin, higher carb group lost more body fat. That guy, the same guy, did another metabolic ward study, putting animal-based high-fat diet to a plant-based low-fat diet. It was highly controlled, being in a metabolic ward. Metabolic ward studies are the ones that you have to take seriously. Free living studies, not so much. I went through that paper, and here are some of the highlights. Okay, randomized to consume ad libitum, either plant-based low-fat or animal-based ketogenic low-carb. Both were about 75%. So it's either 75% carb or 70% animal-based high-fat. So very well controlled. So it really was low carb or low fat. Some people, the criticism is, well, it wasn't low carb enough. Well, this was very low carb or low fat. Okay, now the results were that the animal-based low carb did not result in significant change in body fat after either the first week or the second week, whereas plant-based low fat did result in significant changes in fat mass after both the first week and the second week. The high-fat keto group lost almost no fat, but the low-fat group did. Again, the exact opposite of keto lies. Most of the weight, they did lose weight, however, but most of the weight changes in the animal-based low-carb were due to changes in fat-free mass. That's lean mass, it's muscle tissue itself, or the glycogen stores in the muscle. Whereas the plant-based low-fat did not result in significant change in fat-free mass, meaning that they didn't lose muscle tissue, they didn't lose glycogen, so they weren't losing loads of water weight or anything like that. They weren't losing water or muscle. They lost fat on the high-carb, low-fat group, and it seemed to be the opposite then for the keto group. They lost no body fat and did lose significant water and or glycogen and or actual muscle tissue. And it's easy to lose muscle tissue on a keto diet because you're not giving your body any glucose. The body needs glucose even when you're fat adapted. So people think, oh, I'm fat adapted, my body doesn't run on glucose. It still needs some glucose, and you must get it, and you will get it one way or another. You'll get it from converting protein that you've consumed, and it will convert it through gluconeogenesis, turn it into glucose. And if there's not enough protein, it will break down your muscle tissue and convert that protein into glucose. So you can easily lose muscle. Hello there, I'm Mark, former low carber turned high carb, low fat, and loving it. I'm producing the results of my life in my mid-40s. Now consider liking and subscribing, and please get my free book, Eat Lean, Get Lean. You will get lean and you will stay that way for the rest of your life. Thank you. Okay, at the bottom he's put another study showing the same thing, and this is the study that I always reference. Calorie for calorie, dietary fat restriction results in more fat loss than carbohydrate restriction in people with obesity. Now let me just explain something. Why doesn't insulin make any difference? I'll try and cover this as quickly as I can, because the argument always is, when insulin is up, fat burning is down, and you can burn fat. Technically, that's true. It still makes absolutely no difference to body fat. Here's why. Let's say you eat a high carb meal, and it's we'll say it's got 600 calories worth of carbohydrate in there, right? And we're going to say that that's this group here, right? So after they have just eaten that food, this is their body fat down here, they're not tapping into body fat in any significant amount. Why? Because they just give themselves a lot of food. So this group with the high carb, high insulin isn't burning much body fat in the short term, in the immediate term. We'll take another group here. This is the high fat group. And because they've kept their carbs low, their insulin is lower. Now, they eat protein, so there is no such thing as no insulin. Protein stimulates an insulin response as well. But granted, it's probably lower than the carb group. Therefore, they'll say, these people can burn fat. Okay, remember, they just consumed 600 calories of dietary fat. This group does not even touch their body fat. They're not burning body fat, they're burning dietary fat. This is the distinction that they seem to fucking miss. You're burning dietary fat, for God's sake. You're not burning body fat. This group isn't burning body fat either. Okay, the carb doesn't matter if you're eating carbs or fat. It doesn't matter whether insulin's up or down. Regarding body fat, you're not burning any. You just consume. If you eat at all, you have to eat something. If you eat at all, you don't tap into body fat in the short term. You will burn body fat in between meals, when you sleep, or if you're in an overall energy deficit. You can easily lose fat. In the immediate term, it doesn't matter which option you choose. It doesn't matter whether insulin is up or down. You are not burning any real amount of body fat. You'll either burn carbs for energy or dietary fat. It's dietary fat. That's why when they do these studies over and over and over again to test this hypothesis, it never, ever produces the results that the low carb people want. And it always produces the results that we would expect. So it is not insulin that made you fat or has ever made anyone fat. What made you fat is you ate a bunch of highly palatable processed foods, ultra processed foods. You had pizza and cookies and donuts and so on. Foods that are high in fat and sugar. You're in an overall caloric excess and you stored fat. That's what made you fat. But you call those carbs, you call those foods carbs for some weird reason, even though most of them have more calories from fat than they do coming from carbohydrate. But you call them carbs. I would call them fats, really. I mean, there's more fat, more calories from fat, so it would be more accurate to call those foods fatty foods. Fatty foods made you fat. But then you heard about low carb, which forces you to eat more actual real food, which is a good thing. That's good. But it forces you to eliminate all those ultra processed foods. Then, of course, since you removed all that stuff, you went into a caloric deficit and you lost body fat. It wasn't insulin. So can we just drop this already? It should have been over 10 years ago. The keto scam and the carnivore scam is dead. It's over. Let's just finish it already. Anyway, I'm open for coaching as always. I'll get you lean as you want to be. And you'll always be lean for the rest of your life when you do it this way. It's a permanent thing when you do it correctly. Now, I love you, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Until next time, folks. Bye-bye.